So, Colonel, if I may ask you, when I was going in on your website, uh, I saw that you are into different kind of care, not just like just not like a retirement living. It's like a different kind of levels of care, assisted living, palliative care, memory care. So, definitely you would have people to manage this, but over the years, which has been the most difficult to actually work with in these kind of cares?
Okay, thank you, Abhishek and Dr. Aditya. Firstly, when I entered into the senior living, I was 55.
Okay.
So I was nearing the so-called retirement age, which is 16 in India. But I retired at the age of 47 from the Indian Army. So it is just a thought that what do we do when we reach the proverbial senior citizens tag that we get? And how do we manage? Because children will not be there. I couldn't manage my own parents. I was in the army. So I said, how do we take care of them? And how do we take care of ourselves?
Right.
So it was just an idea, and I started off with 48 cottages, and it caught the imagination of the people. Maybe that Y2K came to my help. Many of our youngsters left the country, and the parents suddenly realized that they are aging. Aging is just a number, so you don't have to worry about it. In the case of the senior living, there are two components of life of a senior. One component is the life or the living component of it. The other is the care component of it. Now, initially, I thought that everything is living. Living means you need a shelter, that is a house or an apartment or something like that. You need some services because we are used to certain amount of the services like housekeeping or security or concierge or whatever it is. So that is what I was under the impression. And then I realized that we guys are not dying. We are living long.
Okay.
So this longevity came as a afterthought. So my initial retirement communities that I created, and also I had to be very careful to not to call it as old age homes, because that had a stigma. That
Right.
you didn't want to be known as your parents are living in an old age home, which is meant for destitute. So I had to avoid that old age home name itself. But I realized that because of this longevity, I found that some of my residents were getting some physical disabilities. For example, somebody gets a stroke, somebody gets initial stages of Parkinson, and somebody falls down and breaks his hip, or many of the South Indian ladies, especially, you find them having this knee problem. I know that kind of issues are there. So that then I said, okay, this means they need some assistance for their living, or what you call as the day-to-day living, ADL, assisted day-to-day living, and that assistance could vary. Next, I realized that then we suddenly got somebody with dementia. So we said that is a different, different care is required. And some of the dementia can become Alzheimer. So that is even worse. So we had cases, and we learned that it is not easy to know this dementia and Alzheimer. And we also found that we have depression. Depression could be because of loneliness, or depression could be, especially in the case of men, after the spouse is no more. Whereas in the case of single women, that is women, a couple where the man dies, the single woman is bindas. She's very happy. The guy chala gaya, gone.
Okay.
Not because of that. I think women by nature are very strong,
Right.
emotionally and otherwise, and they are
Right.
able to face it, whereas a man is used
Mm.
to, showing that he's the most important creature in the world and or in the house. And then suddenly he finds that either he's missing his wife's constantly telling him something, or him not able to tell his wife to do A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
So this is a common phenomenon, and the difference I found in depression and dementia was a depressed guy will always say, "I'm depressed." He's looking for empathy, sympathy.
Mm. Mm.
Dementia fellow will never say that I got dementia. He's in denial.
Right.
So that causes more problem,
Okay.
right? Then came the end of life.
Mm-hmm.
After all, in end of life, nothing can be done. Even if you say that somebody has got cancer, yes, end of life is a very tough thing where no morphine, no medicine works. Or in the
Mm.
case of very elderly,
Mm.
because of age-related ailments, they're not able to move. You take Parkinson cases as they increase the intensity of Parkinson increases as you age.
Mm.
Finally, even the throat muscles are not able to function. They are not able to eat,
Wow. Okay.
and some of them you have to have the Riles tube. So
Okay.
it's a all this is all the end of life, and you can't be having somebody with a severe case of Parkinson and not able to eat, and then you have to put a either through the nose or through the Riles tube here that can't be done in your house. It has to be under a nursing care.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So we said, okay, end of life is very tough, and that is the palliative care,
Mm.
and we don't know how long it will last because medicines don't work, and you get into delirium, and then the pain comes and goes. All it requires is somebody to sit next to them and just give some water and de facto keep them alive with some lot of compassion. Nothing else can be done.
Okay.
So that is how I realized that this thing. And one more thing we got into was somebody asked me that I got an autistic child, son. I says, what
Oh,
happens
okay.
when I die? Who will take care of him? Which she said, that lady Nina from Delhi, she said, you have senior citizens, so why can't you think about some concept for this? So it took us about 3.5 years, along with another gentleman who has got an autistic son, uh, to evolve a concept for persons with disabilities, as to either it could be physical disabilities or it could be intellectual, like autism and Down syndrome, and the physical
Mm.
disability in the case of cerebral palsy, where the brain is okay but the body is not okay.
Mm.
So we do have a model for taking care of senior citizens and who have such children with autism, Down syndrome, and cerebral palsy. On the demise of the parents, we take care of the special adults. They all are adults, 60
Okay.
years, 52 years, 48 years, 37, 25, 18. So those adults are taken care of until their demise,
Mm.
and the estate disposed of as per the will left by the parents, because these adults cannot write a will and they don't know the implication of money. So,
Right.
so this is the concept called a PSWD, a Persons with Disability Care. And I must say that we are perhaps the only one doing this in the world,
Yes.
because
Yes.
broad the state takes over. In
Mm.
India, the state doesn't take over all these issues.
Mm.
And wherever the state has got, they at the age of 18 or 21, they ask you to take them back. So, but
Mm.
we said that the need comes to answer that question, what after us? That is what is, every parent is looking. So they also have a different concept of care. That is what also under the care that we provide. So care now basically has got the assisted care, dementia, like the memory care. It has got the firstly you've got the preventive care. I'll just talk about that also.
Yes. Yes.
And then
Yes.
assisted, preventive, assisted, then memory or dementia, and then you have the palliative, and then you also have the special needs children or PSWD care.
Right.
Now, we found in our journey that one of the reasons because of this longevity is that prevention is very, very essential. And that preventive care is what we feel can avoid you are going to the hospital. See, today what is happening is you think of God only when you're in trouble,
Right. Right. Right.
or you want something to be done. Muhammad goes to the mountain, but mountain doesn't come to Muhammad. That is
Mhm.
a saying.
Saying, yeah.
So why should my nurse be remembered only when I'm in trouble?
Right.
So reverse it. So we made them as the health managers.
Okay.
So when you come to us, we take your basic data, health. Everybody comes with multiple prescriptions. So our GP who is there, he ensures there's only one prescription because no two doctors sees the other prescription, and
Right.
we make it into one, and then that is taken onto a system, and then so that we can moderate the medicine management, that is
Mhm.
replenishment of medicines also. And then all tests that you need to do for diabetic, there are tests, or in case somebody comes from a bypass surgery and you need to go for a review, and all those things are taken into a system, and then you're managed, your health is managed. And now we are working with a company from Madurai where they have developed a beautiful tricorder, they call it, and which you can place it on your head. You
Mhm.
get 10 parameters, and then including blood sugar also. You can put a blood in a small, that same thing, and that can records it. And that is now interlinked with the software that we have called CovaiMed. The
Mhm.
work is going on so that
Mhm.
every 14 days we can check your parameters, because we don't want you to check your BP every day and make you conscious of the heart being there. So
Right.
best is not to remember the heart, and then you say that the heart is beating.
Mhm.
And so we are integrating that to our system. So with the facility that in an emergency we have a care like ambulance, and we have a drill SOPs. But if supposing, let us say, I suddenly faint and then I had to be taken to the hospital, my parameters can be taken and it can be sent to my doctor, because
Right.
we have your data of your doctors, the which hospital, what is your problem. We have a duplicate file in your house which is kept in only one place, and the
Mhm.
housekeeping staff will ask you in the morning, Amma, did you have medicine? And then they'll say, where is the file? So the file has to be in that nominated place so that in emergency, we can take the file, we can inform that concerned doctor of yours that you are coming, and we have tie up with all the hospitals in every station, and our clients get some discount about 10 to 20%, and then they are also taken care of. And we have an hospital executive who accompanies them, ensures that admission procedures are done, because senior citizen, the lady will not know where to go in case the husband is to be admitted. And
Mhm.
then insurance. So we do have group insurance and medical insurance for them. So all those things are done by the health executive in every retirement community.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
So
this
this
health,
is how
yeah.
we are manually managing the health.
It's
Okay.
very, very interesting. This health manager has to do so many things. I mean, yeah, yeah, it's
But
like,
thanks to the system, from IIC and all that, we have got everything into a system. And
okay.
it is a standard operating procedures are there. When you come in, what you have to do to you, and what, like you come from Mumbai, you don't have a doctor here. Let us say that the guy had a bypass surgery, so he needs to
Mhm.
have a consulting thoracic physician. Then we have to find somebody in one of the hospitals, make you go there so that you become his patient. So we
Mhm.
have the record, and then your monitoring becomes easy. So we become a
Yeah.
sort of a facilitators to
Mhm.
ensure that the health is. And also, please, I want to tell you that our senior citizens are very healthy.
Right.
Uh, contrary to the imagination that they need an ambulance like our Prime Minister or the Chief Minister. Whenever they go out, they don't need an ambulance. They are
Okay,
very
that's
fit, and I'll be very happy to tell you this pandemic in all our Tamil communities, we didn't have a single case of COVID.
oh, that's very great. That's
Uh,
commendable actually.
thank-
Yes.
Thanks to the government of India and the protocols that we laid down, which my residents followed. But inside the community, they are happy, but then they have to follow certain norms. And with the government of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka and all, they gave us the up to booster dose up to anybody above 18, including parents, in-laws,
Mhm.
boyfriend, girlfriend, everybody staying in that house got the 3 doses. So, and my resident didn't have to go to a hospital. We gave it to them in situ. So,
That's
and the
really great.
record is available. So
That's
they're
an
all small
achievement.
things, but
Yeah,
it's yes. But then what does it mean? It's only the cost of the syringe they had to bear, which is only $20. But then everything else is arranged.
right.
So we do that. But now let me come to the subject, which is of very importance to you and to Dr. Aditya.
Hmm.
India is advancing. This age is one which is going to be a big issue. There is a demography which is changing in India, which you're aware of. We have a
Hmm.
larger proportion of young people, and we have a growing elder population, which is 14% today, and it is likely to go up to 19 to 20% by 2040.
Right.
By 2040, you'll have 65% 35 years and below.
Okay.
It is what has happened in China today.
Right.
So you have an aged population, you have a young population, which is also aging, and your TFR rate, that is the total fertility rate, as they call as every woman is supposed to, in her productive life, she's supposed to have 2.2 children. But today the TFR rate has dropped to 1.7 in Kerala, 1.8 in Tamil Nadu. It is going down. Even in places like Bihar and Orissa, it has come down to 2.2. And
Hmm.
2.4 is 2.2, 2.4 is what we want. So there is a declining population also, because my grandmother and grandparents had 9 children. My parents had 5. We have
Right.
2. I see my
Right.
daughters having only 1 each.
Right.
So the demography is also changing. So when you guys get older, there'll be nobody to serve you.
Right. Right.
This labor will not be available.
Right.
You see, the problems are that
Hmm.
today my housekeeping staff's children have gone to colleges. We have
Hmm.
encouraged them, we have taught them, we have sent them. My senior citizens, everybody. They're not going to be doing housekeeping or any caregiving or anything like that. They won't dirty their hands. So
Hmm.
we only told them to go, and this year 4 of them went to engineering colleges. We have given them even scholarship from 4 of my residents. So that generation has changed, and the
Absolutely.
declining population, and you guys are getting older and older, and we are getting older. We will able to manage somehow because the still some labor is available. But what
Right. Right.
happens to India in another, see, 2022 we are already in. 2030
Hmm.
is only 8 years ahead. 2040 is 18 years ahead. I'll be 90 then, or 91.
Hmm.
And
Right.
18 years down the line, whoever is 35 today is going to be 53.
Right.
And then he's going to enter into the senior bracket or the geriatric bracket, which is above 50.
Right.
So what is happening in China will happen to us. So
Hmm.
this 3 decades is what we have, out of which we only lost 2 years.
Right. Mm.
And once you don't have this kind of a management with the help of caregivers or stewards, cooks, and security, housekeeping staff, drivers, and you can have a ambulance driver, nurses.
Mm.
Then technology has to take over.
Okay.
The classic example of technology taking over, and why the government of UK is spending in millions of pounds, is because of this reason. You please go to NHS and join any of their seminars or webinars. The
Mhm.
kind of equipment that they have to manage the health. Also, these retirement communities that was created by us in 2004, which has been gone into various places. You'll be surprised to know that out of the 100% senior population, 70% are in rural areas and urban slums, and only
Okay.
30% is in the urban areas or tier 2 or tier 3 cities or the bigger cities. Out of the 30%, only 2% are in retirement communities run by Colonel and others. 2%.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The rest 28% are living alone or with their sons or daughters or mostly alone. Like my wife and I'm
Hmm.
73, she's 69. We are living in an apartment which I built. Like me, there are so many. 28% of the elders, of the urban elders, are living on their own. I don't have all these systems and processes and SOPs and facilities as I'm giving to my seniors in the retirement communities. So what
Hmm.
happens tomorrow? I get a stroke in my house. What will my wife do? What happens tomorrow? My wife is no longer alive. I am at home and I get into dementia. I started wondering, how do you how do you know my schedules? What am I doing? I can't put a CCTV camera everywhere because of privacy issues.
Right.
So sensors are coming into a long to assist us. For
Hmm.
example, all our toilets have sensors,
Okay.
and our toilet doors have to open outwards, and they are 3 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Why three
Okay.
feet? In case I'm in wheelchair, if it is 2.5 feet, then my
Yes.
knuckles will get hurt. And if I'm a diabetic, I'm asking for trouble.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
And the door opens outside because there's no tile drop.
Mm.
The way tiles have to drop, one
Yes.
tile drop,
Yes. Correct.
the water will come. The door
Mm.
opens outwards, there's no tile drop, the wheelchair can go inside. Today we have toilets which we import from Denmark,
Mm.
from Preselit Care,
Yes.
Pressalit Care,
Yes. Yes.
Preselit
Yes.
Care.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from Denmark, it is expensive, but
Mm-hmm.
that helps me for a person with a wheelchair. He can go underneath that wash basin, do up his shaving and washing and brushing and all. Can move to the EWC, the hand rolls. You can get inside, come out, and then there is a place where you can sit down, and all his controls are down below for hot water, cold water. You can take bath, and nobody need to come. The second person need not touch your body, so your
Okay.
self-esteem is maintained.
Okay.
But that is not available in our country.
Okay. Mm.
It's not at all difficult to manufacture this. I even told President Care when I went, I said, why don't you send it to us as a CKDs?
Mm.
But their markets in Europe and America is so much, they are not looking at Asia at all. And we need so many things in the toilet, grab rails. We need to put, when you're taking bath, even if you're normal, having a shower, you need to hold something in front, because when
Right.
you close your eyes with the soap, you can get giddiness.
Right. Right.
So we have to
Mm.
take all this, and the lighting in the toilet, we have a sensor. So you
Mm.
open the door, it's a motion sensor. You get
Mm-hmm.
inside, the light comes up. And when you shut the
Mm.
door, after some time, the light goes away.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So similarly, this is of course this is a Jugaad system that we have made ourselves. So nothing great about it.
Mm.
But if you look at the various things, as I told you, for monitoring dementia cases, monitoring single persons,
Right.
a single lady or a single man living alone,
Mm.
and God forbid if he's a diabetic or something, or gets hypoglycemia, how do you get an alert? Now, you can't have systems tagged on to you. For example, uh, there is a company with whom we are working, and they did a fantastic job called Save
Mm.
Mom, SAVMOM, Save Mom. And
Mm-hmm.
what they did was they went to these tribal ladies in tribal areas and villages, and they created a small device which was either
Mm-hmm.
put on their hand or put around the neck in a beads, and that did
Okay.
not require the internet,
Okay.
and but it could measure the growth of the fetus
Oh,
and the mother.
okay.
And
Hmm.
every month, the tribal lady used to go to the public health center where they had a system which used to download whatever information it has gathered.
Okay.
And the doctor or the midwife who is there in the PHC, now she could guide in terms of any medication or any other precautions to be taken, and
Mm.
thereby you reduce the child mortality at birth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now that is being converted as a wearable for
Mm.
senior citizens in the case of emergency.
Mm.
They just have to say, ha, and automatically they are working on that. They are working. It will get into three hunting calls of three numbers. It will also send out messages to five other people, your neighbor, your medical health manager, and people around you, so that somebody can come immediately. Because we can't say help, ha, that is enough,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can't be having it in switches and all that because you don't know where the hell you're going to fall.
Right.
So we are working on that. Therefore, this can be worn like the beads. This 108 is a very good number in all religions. So
Okay.
in the case of Hindus, we do 108 Gayatri Java. The
Mm.
Christians do 108 time, Jesus or Hail Jesus, and then the Muslims also do Allah Allah karke 108. 108 is a very good number. We can have
Mm.
a beats, can have something else. So we're working. They're working on that, and
Mm.
with that, I think we'll be slightly better off in terms of emergency. See, now we are given some mobile phones and all that. We tried to put switches with a this radio frequency device, RFD.
Right.
But the switches are in the bedroom, it is in the bathroom, but then you fall somewhere in the somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
then you can't even reach. So how does
Mm-hmm.
that emergency hooter work?
Right.
And
Right.
there are lots of things which are coming up today in the terms of this. What I'm telling you is the care
Mm.
aids that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Variety of things are coming up in the market. Variety of people are bringing. I know one guy spoke to me yesterday. They want
Mm-hmm.
to give an emergency when somebody falls.
Right.
Now, fall is a very frequent happening for senior citizens.
Right.
The fall could be because of their posture. The fall could be because the guy has his gait is not okay or his balance is bad, and
Mm-hmm.
he can just fall off the bed also when sleeping without realizing that he's taking a turn.
Right.
So when he falls, he doesn't know what to do,
Right.
because till the next day morning, when we have a system of 6 o'clock, somebody going and knocking all the single people to see whether they are awake or not awake.
Mm.
Till then, and you're fallen, and that could be very serious. So there are
Absolutely.
pressure pads available in Australia.
Okay.
So those pressure pads, moment you fall, of course, if you drop your mobile phone, no alarm will go, but the volume and the weight. But they are very expensive. In India, we cannot afford that.
Okay.
So this company from UK is trying to do this fall prevention with a wearable, or without any wearable. They're trying to say that you can do that, but it does cost money. So but people may take it because anybody who falls once, we red flag them
Mm-hmm.
because he is susceptible to fall again. The doctor
Yeah.
knows.
Okay.
Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
mean we run even programs for how not to fall, how to fall, and after a
Mm.
fall, how to get up.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Okay. It's a
Hmm.
15 days program with a physiotherapist. How not to
Hmm.
fall,
Okay.
how to fall. In case you fall like a baby, you have to fall with a bulk,
Okay.
mass, and not hand. You
Hmm.
fall like this so that you'll not get hurt,
Right. Right.
not break your bones. And after
Hmm.
that, in the shock, how do you slowly get up?
Hmm.
Now we need something for sensors for inside. For example,
Hmm.
I run care centers.
Hmm.
Um, let's say somebody has got is in coma.
Hmm.
Now you have got this, this beds which have got this water beds. You call them water beds, and they
Okay.
do change like this automatically, so that the
Hmm.
body keeps moving. It's not stationary. If the body is
Right.
stationary, you get bed sores.
Hmm.
So what he does is that that does, but that is not enough. The doctor will tell you at one particular time the body has to be turned slowly to one side and then turned to the other side so that you
Hmm.
get some fresh air. Now, what is the guarantee that my caregiver or my nurse who is in the care center is doing it?
Hmm. Right.
So, supposing if I have a sensor between the caregiver's station and this patient, moment she crosses, it can be recorded. And the
Hmm.
time I know that she has to be done, it can be correlated. I know
Right.
whether this lady was doing the job or not.
Absolutely. Okay. 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 That way
So,
also.
how do I
Okay.
get that communication?
Right. Right.
One more thing I'll tell you. Many of the men are getting this prostrate problem.
Right. Right.
Prostate you don't need prostate after you stop producing babies.
Hmm.
So prostate, why do people with prostate, they get up at night or anytime, they run to the toilet
Right.
because they don't want to wet themselves.
Right. Right. Right.
And in the process of running, they fall
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
or they wet themselves and then they become a subject of ridicule to the wife also. She says,
Hmm.
once again, you have wet your pajamas or a dhoti or a short or whatever it is. And then that guy feels bad.
Hmm.
Supposing if I kept a sensor, I can't put this CCTV camera inside a bedroom. Obviously not.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a sensor which is attached to the toilet.
Hmm.
And every time the door is open, I come to know that this man gets up around 1:30, 3:30, or whatever
Hmm.
time, you can work it out over a period of time, you'll get an average. What is the time of
Hmm.
he gets?
Hmm.
If I can record it, this means I don't know. There's an idea I'm giving you.
Hmm.
I don't think anything
Absolutely.
like that exists.
Hmm.
Then instead of if I get up at 1:30 at night on an average, at 1:20 can I get a trigger by some means?
Okay. Hmm.
So the 10 minutes is enough for me
Hmm.
to ensure I get up, I stand. I have to stand for 30 seconds for the blood to go down, blood to go up, turn my head this side, that side. And then I walk to the toilet, ease myself, and I come back. I'm happy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very interesting. I mean, these scenarios are like very, very, no, to the point. It's like we could not even imagine all these similar scenarios, but you're getting very, very close to the point, saying that this is how it is. I mean, you're just giving us what needs to be solved. I mean, it's just like there. It's like wow.
There is a lot of things like, there are various products also we need. See, it is not only software that we are talking of. There are
Hmm.
products that we need, right from your stick. The stick itself could be a product. For example, I saw the other day, they have a stick which is where you can speak on the mobile phone itself, your walking
Okay.
stick.
Okay.
So you don't, I think
I'm sorry, actually.
either it is Zoom 40 minutes or it is my internet.
No, no, it is Zoom
So what
40.
I'm telling you is that we need many of these products that are useful to us for a variety of things. For example, I saw in seniority that there is a specs which has got a prism. So A person is lying down and is able to watch the TV.
Okay, okay, reflection, okay.
It's available. In seniority, most of the stuffs are made in China.
Okay,
I think high time we start manufactured in this country.
right.
Atmanirbharta karke we keep talking, but I think we are not doing anything for the seniors. So
Yes, yes.
there are so many things that is needed. There are so many of these things that I'm talking of. Integration of the available that equipment with the software, and then monitor for preventive. What is the point of breaking a hip and then going for a hip replacement?
Mhm.
If a hip replacement, the rehab is at least 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
And now we need rehab centers with a variety of stuffs are coming up. But every time you go for rehab, it is very, very expensive.
Okay.
And how do I go to a rehab center? Let us
Mhm.
say the rehab center is 5 kilometers from my house, and I have had a hip fracture.
Mhm.
Who will take me? How will I go?
Right.
What about vehicles, cars? Are we wheelchair friendly? Can I have? There are certain cars are running where I can get into a wheelchair with a cart. Taxis, few of them are available, but there's a big market for this.
Mhm.
And I personally feel that every step that we take,
Mhm.
I think that is something which can be done.
Absolutely. Yes.
Um, Ideas, we can give you any number, but what exactly are you going to be involved in the thrust areas? And then you ask us, and I will definitely tell you. Maybe I'll connect you also with some of my senior living operators, and they can give you their perception. For example, I can connect you to Raj at Kites, Kites in Bangalore.
That
So
would be
he and Dr. Rima, they run a center for Alzheimer and dementia,
yes, yes, yes.
right? You can also go and see them as to what they need. You
Right.
can go to Nightingale. I'll connect you with Dr. Radha Murthy,
Mhm.
and you can go and see and ask her as to what are the things that they need for dementia patients and Alzheimer patients.
Wow,
And then there
that's
is a dementia village in Bangalore. I'll put you on to them also.
Mhm.
I can put you on to some PSWD activity centers. Like, do you
Mhm.
know that I put Alexa to teach music to my autistic girls?
Wow, okay, okay. That's very interesting.
And today you'll be surprised. Alexa is giving us about 8 to 9 devices to be put up for my seniors in library and other places, so that especially when somebody is lonely, the loneliness everybody gets, and they can go and listen to Alexa and talk or listen to some news. And we are getting in Bangalore project of ours, we already got 9 Alexas.
Wow, okay. This I want to see this in action. I mean, this is very interesting. I mean, seriously. Yeah.
And this girl, we talk about, she's 48. She came from with her brother, both are autistic,
Okay.
and she is non-verbal, like most of the autistic children are. And then
Mm.
we put this, and she tried to learn. She can't read, she doesn't know how to read or write.
Right.
And, and then one of my residents said, "Okay, I'll teach you this song." She memorized it, and in
Mm.
one of the functions, which it was the World Autism Awareness Day, she sang this song, Kanton Se Kinch Ke Ye Anchal, the guide movie of Veda Rahman. So I told
Wow.
Preeti, "You're singing like Veda Rahman." So she says, "Uncle is calling me Veda Rahman." And today she has learned 4 songs.
Wow. That's great. I mean, you should. I mean, have you televised this or something that you have kept? I mean, this is very interesting. I mean, this has to go viral or
We
something.
we have a Down syndrome girl,
Mm.
Karishma. She auctions her paintings, and she has collected $176,000, and which
Ooh.
goes to 6 Down syndrome foundations.
Wow. I
Her
mean,
parents are guiding her.
okay, all this is happening at your place. I mean, this is so under the radar. I mean, we were not even aware. Wow.
Happening. It's it is actually the advantage of a senior community is my senior citizens have a lot of patience, and
Mm-hmm.
such children who have a intellectual or physical disabilities, we don't consider them or look at them at a different angle. Some of them make noise, some of them are non-verbal, but they can make noise, and we know why they're making noise today.
Mm-hmm.
And that noise itself, people say she wants something, and that's why she's making noise. So I had taken care of a lady who came on rent with her daughter and who was autistic, the age of 43, and we gave her. She was in daily dialysis for 1 year,
Mm-hmm.
and after 1 year of daily dialysis, she died of kidney failure.
Okay. Okay.
This girl is in one of my assisted care centers in Coimbatore for the last 3 years, and we found out what she is capable of doing because her mother never let anybody come inside near her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Found out through one special educator in Coimbatore that she fond of cooking. No, I couldn't send her to the kitchen because there are young boys.
Okay.
So we got the vegetable and asked her to cut the vegetable. Today she cuts seven
Okay.
kilos of vegetable. She has a schedule, and then evening she goes to the park, walks around. She goes for dining, lunch. Somebody sits next to her, and she's part and parcel of the senior community. She has been adopted. And her sister is in the States. She gets every week a report from the doctor how is
Okay.
Viji's health.
Wow. These are real big success stories, actually.
So it's not only success stories. Like for example, in the during the pandemic, we had some deaths not due to COVID but due to natural causes. But then
Mm.
people couldn't go, even from Bombay, Madras. Nobody could come.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Right.
telecast the complete final rites and rituals. I
Mm-hmm.
myself did it with a WhatsApp video. I said,
Okay.
"This is the number. Please join." The people
Mm-hmm.
sitting in America or in London or in Bombay or in Agartala, they could see.
Right.
So they
Mm.
didn't feel that it was not there. So
Right.
today, with the technology available, and also my senior citizens, all of them know how to use the mobile phone for bank transfer,
Okay. Okay. That's very important. Actually, very important. Yes.
and also not to answer any faltu calls. They're trained, and then not to give
Yes.
your OTP. Some lectures are given. Something happens, but it has to be done. See, they
Yes.
also need to be independent. We can't say that you're old and sit in front of a TV and watch Shankara TV and say Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. So, that is not life. But
Right.
you tell me what, they see the field is very, very broad,
Right.
very lot of things we need.
Mm-hmm.
And in the context of the demography dividend that we are enjoying today, which is going to change into
Mm-hmm.
the dividend is going to become loss just
Right.
2 decades,
Mm-hmm.
20 years, 18 years to be precise. I may
Absolutely.
not be alive, but
We'll
definitely,
we'll see about that.
I, I don't know. I always tell my senior citizens, they say, "What is your age, Colonel?" I say, 17. They say, "How 17?" I said,
Yes.
90 is my median age, minus 73, 17. I said, "What's my age next year?" They said 18. I said, "No, 16." I said, "Stop."
Yes, it's actually very good philosophy. I mean, I love that philosophy. Like, I wish my
But
parents
if
would
you,
take that philosophy.
but unfortunately, if you apply that to yourself, let us say you're 30 and
Yeah.
you are applying minus 790, you're 60, you say bloody hell. Okay, then next year 59, and then you're slightly going up to 31. So just imagine, it doesn't work both ways.
No, I'm saying that, I mean, at least, that's how, I mean, we should live life. I mean, that's what I said. I mean, whenever I've listened to your interviews, it's actually very motivational. It's not like, listening to a retirement living or kind of thing. Oh, no, there's like very, very much Like, you're actually a young entrepreneur, if you ask me. I mean, someone who we want to look up to, and maybe we, try to see if we can get the energy that you have, the way you think. It's amazing.
No, it's my team. Actually, I've got a very young team. I'm very proud to say that two of the youngsters whom I groomed, three in fact,
Mm.
are doing
Mm.
very well. One is the Primus, others from Bangalore.
Mhm.
His uncle was Mantri and he met me in Indonesia.
Mhm.
I gone and addressed the Indonesian Economic Forum on the
Okay.
Asian aging,
Okay.
the
Uh-huh.
problems of Asian aging and the customs, traditions, and how do you overcome all this.
Right. Right.
So I went that time. Colonel called me to speak about the Indian aging.
Mhm.
So then he said, "Why don't you groom this boy? He's looking at this segment." It was about 8 days, 7 years, 7 years back. I
Mhm.
said, "You bring your team here, 4 days free training. He's doing a
Okay.
very good job."
Yes. Yes.
Ashiana,
Famous.
Ankur,
Mhm.
ah,
Mhm.
Ankur, I came. I asked him to come here.
Mhm.
He came with his team. Tara of Antara Bank. Now it is in Dehradun, one of the most expensive. Aniljeet Singh's daughter,
Right.
and
Mhm.
she was mentored a
Mhm.
team, and then they put up that one of the finest units in Dehradun. Now they come to Delhi. They've gone in for care.
Absolutely.
So I
Wow.
gave them free. I put everything in my website. I said, "You do it." But tragically, what has happened is
Mhm.
today I notice that because of the non-availability of labor,
Okay.
many of us are not able to give what we had promised.
Okay.
So there is you say, "I'll do this, this, this," and then finally you point a finger at an agency which supplies some untrained caregiver who can't even change the diaper, and then she
Mhm.
runs away, and then you're in a mess again. So
Right.
many of these things, if we have, for example, I don't know why we can't have videos of basic care for elders, which can be given and not necessarily put on the YouTube and publicized. YouTube also has got, but somebody wants it, they can download and see as to.
Mhm.
Let us say tomorrow if my wife diapers have to be changed, at least I should know how to do it.
Right. Right.
So why don't we train? We know today talking about reskilling. No,
Mhm.
it's very important because of longevity. Skilling has become very important. I can't be a
Absolutely.
general manager of a company when I retire. I'll have only my wife to control, and that is
Mhm.
difficult. And what do I do? I have to reskill. I have to look at my various other opportunities at the age of 55.
Mhm.
At the age of 50, I should be able to go to a geriatric doctor and tell him, please start taking my parameters. And
Right.
then I learn, okay, I am fond of writing, reading, or speaking. So I take up some kind of a vocation which pays me some money also so that my
Mhm.
retirement saving doesn't get eroded with the inflation.
Mhm.
And then you need to reskill at 75 because your health would have deteriorated in certain aspects. You slow down.
Yes. Yes.
Then you can do something else. I can do flower arrangement. Let the entire mohalla come and leave the flowers in the morning. If I can make flower arrangement evening, I make a lovely bouquet. You come and take it, and I give you. I can run I can be a collection center for your this various couriers. I
Right.
have to collect it. You want to send a courier, you don't want to go to the courier office. Come and leave it with me. I'll ensure it goes. And evening, you take the receipt from me and push off.
Right.
Today, we are talking of ageless communities. Why should I segregate the elders and youngsters?
Absolutely. Right.
It's ageless. Let us be a support system. It's
Right.
not that like you have a child, you want to go for a movie with your wife. And you always come and tell me, Colonel Uncle, please, can you take care of my daughter or son? I say, yeah, please leave him. I say, we'll spoil him a bit. And you will enjoy and come back.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
this dependence and interdependence is a very, very important thing as you age, and
Mhm.
communities must help each other.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
So
Yes.
we have gone in for ageless communities. Above 40, please come.
Mm. Right. Right, absolutely. Yes, so Colonel, actually, you have taken a lot of your time, and thanks a lot for providing such an insight. I mean, I have not got such an insight talking to so many people. I mean, this is like wealth of knowledge that I can get nowhere, but only here, I guess. Yeah. So only request is if you can, connect me to the people that you mentioned, because these like,
I will
yeah,
connect you. I'll connect you to those people also, the email, and you
yes.
can talk to them. I'll tell them that IISc wants to do something for the elder. They'll all be very keen to let you know. And then
Mhm.
you can always contact me. I don't want any money from any one of you for any knowledge transfer or whatever I'm giving. And you do something nice, I'll be very happy that I could be part of that.
Yeah,
I get a damn good pension. This very army never paid me salary. I came out, but today they're giving me a huge pension which I cannot eat.
Right, right, right. That's absolutely fine. I mean, thanks a lot, Colonel sir. So you've been really, really helpful, and I hope that our research comes up with something very really good product that can help
Sure,
and take
definitely.
forward your vision for the
Definitely.
people
I will
like.
also share some papers that we have written, and maybe it will help
Mm,
you to understand as to how this segment itself has moved on from A to B to C to D,
mhm.
and we are still groping in the dark.
Right, right. Yeah. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Abhishek,
Hopefully,
and thank you,
right.
Dr. Aditya,
Thank you, sir.
and definitely go and meet these guys in Bangalore.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Sure,
you.
sure. Thanks a lot for your time, sir.
Bye. God bless.